A couple blowouts.
Blowouts all night.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Splice versus Optic, pretty brutal, man. Especially
Oh
that
yeah,
last
I
map.
did see the tweets. It was something like 16-6, 16-4 in those two maps.
It got rough by the end of that one.
Yeah, nothing like playing two maps and losing 32-10. That's rough.
All right, well, we are still waiting for these teams to ready up. I think they're actually waiting on us. I could be wrong because of the production issues. I don't even know if we're live at the moment or not, but I'm going to assume we are.
I believe we are.
Yeah, according to our producer, we are live. So I believe as soon as these issues are resolved with the production, we should actually get the map started. And yeah, we'll just jump right into things. Just as another reminder, too, this is not the only matchup we have for this evening. Another one coming up a little bit later on after this as well. Starting in just about an hour, we have our second matchup.
Yep, that is going to be Enemy versus Complexity. And the fun part about that is it's Enemy still playing with Kusta for the time being. Now, obviously, news broke yesterday, I believe it was, maybe the day before yesterday, but the rumor of Adrin's departure from Liquid and Kusta stepping in, as reported by, I believe it was Richard Lewis who broke the story, but a lot of people had kind of been talking about it because there was mention of Kusta on Ryu's stream not too terribly long ago, where they kind of caught a mumbled conversation between the two of them saying that he had a tryout for Liquid. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, he's going to be playing with them until they can sort out the roster deal. So we'll at least get to see a little bit of Kusta action tonight. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good matchup between them in Complexity. I think that should be a pretty close matchup. The new Complexity roster has kind of been struggling a little bit, but very first matchup of the season for them, they actually did take down Complexity, split the series 1-1, or Liquid, pardon me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit curious to see how well the team performs overall now, since it's sort of an impending thing that now we're gonna see Kusta more than likely leaving the roster. I'm kind of curious as to how well the team is actually going to be able to do now, because you're sort of in this awkward phase of, yes, I'm on this team, but I'm not going to be on this team very soon, so why am I playing so seriously? Well, obviously, I'm not going to assume that they'll immediately go to that mentality, but it is a possibility.
Well, one of the things, too, about that is remember that Sean Garris had pretty much discussed with his team before the last big couple of tournaments that they had played in that he was looking to step down, and his statistics, his actual in-game performance went up in the last couple of matches that he had played with Cloud9 before he stepped down as the IGL and one of the players on the team. So I don't expect Kusta's performance to skyrocket because the guy is already, up there as far as skill level is concerned. He's easily one of the top 3 AWPers in North America, up there with, JDM and Skadoodle. Might as well play out your tenure with the team before your contract expires. They said his contract isn't up until next week, I believe it is anyway. So finish out your tenure, do it on a strong note, leave on good terms, and let the chips fall where they may.
I think the Cloud9 example as well came into effect sort of around September when the team was really struggling. So that was more of an example of the rest of the team really on a slump. And for whatever reason, Sean wasn't. And he sort of just was dominating things there. But it looks like we're finally going live now, guys. So let's jump into this map. Once again, for those that are just joining us, this is CLG versus Renegades. First half starting off right now.
Yeah, so and again, like we talked about, CLG won the knife round, so they're starting off on the CT side. Again, that's Cutler, Hayes, JDM, Tarek, and Fugly facing off against Sponge, Azur, JKS, Yam, and Ustillo. And in the last matchup, we saw Yam and Ustillo have a pretty sensational matchup, but we also saw moments of absolute magnificence from JKS and Azur as well. So look to these guys to have a good matchup again this time around. And it looks like we're just going to be seeing a brawl over here in this A bomb site soon.
They're taking it slow as soon as they get themselves inside of the apartments, though. Not really a whole lot of damage being traded out. In fact, no damage being traded as of yet. Just making a whole lot of noise. But Renegades, now that they've gotten themselves in the apartment, they slow down to a huge degree. Azur, though, meanwhile, halfway across the map, just goes crazy with a push-up banana and finds a nice little headshot on the Tarek as he was completely overexposed. But was not able to catch the response on Azur. So they've cleared that out, and this is actually going to cause a little bit of a division now because JDM is sitting just outside of Arches, and he's going to be a rotator now once he hears which way the site's going. But he's still a little bit more committed to the A site, so still in a pretty good position.
Yeah, they actually smoke off truck side, which is going to keep JDM over here on Arches. But once they explode on the way around, they could split this. I mean, they've still got a player over here at the B bomb site and Banana. So it looks like they're just going to make this push in towards the Arch side, and they're going to catch JDM out. He finds the first one, finds a second one at least before he goes down, which is a nice find. But now Hazed is just going to feel so lonely over here at this B bomb site, and Azur is doing such a great job of distracting, and he just swaps over and annihilates him. So free bomb plant for Renegades in this round, and they're just going to push out into these early post-plant positions. Azur out by Truck, and he's got a teammate over by Sandbag, so really tough retake situation now for CLG.
Fugly starting to sneak up now, but there's an ugly crossfire waiting around the corner. Fire from Car just now peeks out. Good reaction though, picking up a first kill over on towards Azur, and now looking for that second one towards JKS, and he's gonna find that. So they pick it up, and now all of a sudden everything shifts towards Sponge to try and hold this. Has the angle to Fugly, so it'll be a quick dispatch to take him out of the picture. But now on that 1v1, there's nowhere to run. He's got to try to jiggle, and he can't do it. Cutler takes him down, and with that kit, he'll have enough time to defuse the bomb to give CLG the first round.
Big play from Fugly right there. Just a little bit embarrassing that they weren't able to pick up that kill. That is, I mean, obviously the most crucial kill right there, because that maintains your banana control, and then you can just crossfire the last player coming into the site. So really, really nicely managed there from Fugly, able to find those 2 kills and open things up for Cutler to clutch out the round. Nicely done. And it just so happened that Cutler was the player who had the kit. So that was perfect. That was a perfect play on that retake from those 2 players in that 2v3. Really, really nicely done.
Works out quite nicely. So we're going to go into a pause here. I think Pete has been having some problems staying connected to the game, so this might be a constant theme, but he's actually on the team now as well. So this could cause some issues.
It's actually really weird because on my screen, he's actually inside of another player.
Yeah, that's some interesting stuff there. I don't think he's like...
Look at it. I think that they can see it in game 2 because they're looking around.
He keeps, like I think
he's
the game
teleporting.
is... Look, the game is trying to find a spot for him to respawn in, but it can't find one, so it keeps despawning. Wait, now he found one. He's just inside one of the players of CLG.
Yeah, he's inside a terror.
Oh, there we go. Now he's moving around again. What the heck?
I have no idea.
So, yeah.
Pete has got them teleportation hacks, man. I don't know what's going on.
So I imagine we'll have to do something to the server to get that fixed.
I'm not sure.
And this is like, man, I have the worst luck when it comes to these pauses, because these always happen in the first like 2 or 3 rounds when like there's not really a whole lot that's happened. So now you like don't have anything to talk about, especially because we just got off of another pause. So we basically just used all our conversation topics.
Well, we can talk about the matchups that are coming up a little bit again if you guys want, or we can talk about our fellow comrade Moses on his way over to do a little bit of casting overseas.
I mean, if you want to talk about that, you can. I don't know. What's there to talk about that?
He's going overseas to do some casting.
Yeah, that's about it, though. Where does the conversation go from there? You're like, there's a whole topic on that.
I don't know. I didn't know if you had anything to say.
That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Not really anything else to add there. Great
some
talk,
things,
man.
some stuff, some things, and Moses creamy overseas. The pause is gone, so we're going to come into this anti-eco round. Hazed yet to invest into this one. There you go, MP7. So they're actually going for a pretty heavy investment here. Rightfully so, because it's going to be a pistol armor buy going on here. So we'll see what the Renegade side can do. Now, we saw they lost the opening pistol round on the CT side of Dust 2, and then it took them the second anti-eco for them to actually win one out. And then they just kept crippling the CLG economy. So this would be a detrimental round for CLG to lose.
But Renegades are going to take their time now that they work their way up towards middle. Good hold from CLG now, but they're going to take it extremely passively. At least when you look at the A side setup now, these guys are held back. They're going to give them free control of the mid choke point, free control of Wrap to a certain degree as well. JDM actually doesn't even challenge it because of the amount of players that push it. But there's a smoke in their way. However, JDM is out in the open, so he's only able to find 1 kill. Trades continue as they actually get onto the site, but it goes into the favor of Renegades with Azur finding another pickup on towards Fugly. Now the only 2 left alive are the 2 on the B site, and this take happens so quickly that this rotation is going to take them at least like 10 seconds into the plant to actually get onto the A bomb site.
The other big thing, too, is neither of these 2 players that are left alive have a kit. Now, Cutler did die at the A bomb site, so there is a kit somewhere around there, and I believe he actually dropped in pit. So they're going to actually have to get into pit, get that defuse kit, and then work their way back into the site. And these crossfires should be strong. There should be no chance at a retake on this. And Hazed is going to go down here from the pit player. That's Yam. He's going to swing out, but it's going to be Azur to clean it up. And just like I talked about, detrimental. They got 3 M4s out of that last round because it was such a big buy from the CLG side that now they only have to invest in 2 AKs to move forward. And Ustilo is actually just going to go onto a P90 because he knows they're going to be saving. And they actually invest into this round into the pistol armor, so they're trying to give a little bit of a rebuttal here to what just happened to them, but that was a huge round from Renegades.
This is actually a bit of an odd choice too when you consider most of CLG's ecos were actually pretty light in that last map, even when the situation happened. Yeah, well, I mean, all right, if you want to go there. But now they're just going to go all out because I think they're tired of these situations happening. They're just like, all right, we need to pick up something here. We cannot let them get a huge lead, especially on T side as well. If they will lead like with 10-5 like they had on the last map, it's just going to be it's going to be GG at that point. But Tarek being good, picking up a first kill and then falling back inside of the smoke towards Spools, trying to work his way back out and just gets out of dodge of that nade. But no one has noticed him sitting over here in the corner. So as soon as they peek out, there's another kill. Hayes is the one that actually grabs it. Now Hayes has been revealed there, but a TK comes out as JKS will take down Yam on accident. Now as these guys are pushing back in, they're trying to get the random spray, but they're overwhelmed. Azar can still hold though, switching over to the Tech 9. He's going to find another pickup over towards Fugly. No bomb plant coming in. It's stuck in the fountain, so JKS is going to have to move out to retrieve it. But they might have controlled the situation as of yet. Forcing it down now. Hayes is going to push out. There's no coverage from his teammate, so we are going to see Hayes managing to eliminate JKS, and then following that Cutler takes down Azar. CLG bounce right back and find their own second round.
Very impressive. Very good poise from Tarek. They mollied out to the backside of Newbox in that round, and he just was perched up, just waiting for that push, and just intelligently falls back and sets up the crossfire with Hayes. Hayes actually survived all the way to the end of the round as well, and he had like 18 HP or 19 HP going into that, so really, really well done from them. They managed that really well, especially since they were playing basically a default setup on the CT side with 3 at A and 2 at B. So delaying them long enough for that rotation to come in, really, really good stuff.
Now the buys from both sides is just going to be like an absolute mess. 3 rifles, along with the P90 still sitting on Fugly over here for the side of CLG, and then you've just got pistols on the other guys for the rest of the buy. So this will be interesting because now both of these teams are sort of at their wits' end in terms of the buy. CLG could maybe force again if we see Renegades trade at another round. However, if this continues in like an unending process of these teams trading around, CLG is going to be the one that loses the game eventually because their economy will run out much faster on the CT side. So I would realistically expect them, if they drop this round, to go for a save afterwards.
Setting up for this A execution too, Fugly on the P90. They've got Hazed over here at B. He's only got the 5-7, but the push is going to be coming in towards A. And Ustilo, he was set up for the smoke. I'm not really sure. Okay, look at this. This is an interesting... Look at how forward they are in these positions, but because CLG is playing so passively, they're able to just drop these smokes, and this is a complete smoke out of the A bomb site. Flashes go in. They're going to spot out Cutler. There's the Tech 9. Already opening things up, but it's going to be Fugly up top. He's going to get spammed down from JKS. Now they just got to be worried about this run-through from JDM. He's going to get spotted in Graveyard. So just completely annihilated that defense because they played so passively and let him set up these smokes. That was a brilliant smoke wall from Renegades.
Final 2 are not even going to attempt to try and go for the retake. Same situation as before. Renegades moving so quickly and with so little warning for the remaining players on CLG that the final 2, there's no chance they're going to be able to rotate in there, pull off a 2 versus 4, and get the defuse within the time that they're given. So they'll have to sit back. And now with the save, I'm actually a bit worried because this may give them enough energy to try and go for a force. Again.
I mean, they could. Hayes could drop over a gun. JDM can buy up. Cutler might have enough to buy up and scrounge a pistol armor buy or go for a FAMAS with light armor and an HE. Or a FAMAS and light armor is all he's going to be able to get out of this. They might force up here. Yeah, they are. So this is just going to be a battle of the force buys. So this is really going to be detrimental to CLG if they drop this round. JDM is going to have no money. He's going to be the high bank at 1750. The rest of them have bought completely out, and if they lose this, it might be double eco territory.
Eventually, we would hope someone will win 2 rounds in a row, and it just ends this force buying fiasco. But this is NA, so anything can happen.
Yeah, we don't know how to play Counter-Strike.
So yeah, that's a spicy meme right there, man. Careful with that.
Hey man, the danker the better.
Okay, so for Renegades, just going to keep their players spread out, looking for any extra aggression coming out from CLG, and Sponge is going to catch some of it along with JKS, shutting out Fugly and Cutler. And now they're just going to push directly into the A-bombs. They've only got JDM left to defend it, but JDM is quite mobile, actually, moving himself inside of the apartments, pushing the long haul now. He could pick up quite a few kills with this positioning if he surprises these guys jumping out now, and he is looking for that first one. Spray is very nasty though. He doesn't hit anyone with that. So following that kill, Sponge finds Tarek, and now it's all on Hazed.
That was a little hard to watch right there. I'm waiting for it to come up on the stream so I can watch the breakdown, but oh boy, there it goes. Whew, my. And there goes the tag. So Sponge gets the last frag onto Hazed, and yeah, Renegades break the bank finally. It's going to be a save. They've got money on Hazed, they've got money on JDM, but the rest of them are under 2,000. If they save this one, they're going to be in a buy situation possibly, but it's going to be FAMAS's at best. And they actually invested CZ into Cutler, so I mean, they're so low. This might be a double save.
Thankfully, they do go for the save, though. That's the good thing. Because now we're done with this force buy craziness. So we've got.
They need to get JDM and op. They need to.
We've gotten past. Well, here's the problem, though, is that now they still have to establish their economy. They're just on a 2-round losing bonus now. If they go for a buy again after this, JDM actually should probably have enough, but it's still going to be in a little bit of a risky territory. So yeah, I think, as you might have just mentioned, this might end up being a double save. We'll have to wait and see. But this round from Renegades should be a walk in the park. We say should. But there's going to be at least one trade coming out from Fugly. High's back over towards the porch, but Sponge peeking out. He's going to catch that trade. Along with JKS picking up a kill to Cutler. CLG a little bit too aggressive this round, unfortunately, with that A-site hold, but not a whole lot that can be expected from them with mainly just the default pistols. So it's the same situation as a couple rounds back. The final two alive are on that B side, and Renegades are just going to walk right on, have the plant. The final two can't really do anything.
Yeah, the big thing is, you know, we saw the trade of rounds and everything, and now we see Renegades come out on top and win a couple in a row, and look at the money that they've already established on their side. Yama's got 6,650. He's the only one that died. The others are all sitting at, you know, a healthy 5K plus with the exception of JKS. So even though those round trades were so severe early on in this matchup, it's paying off big time now for the Renegade side.
So Hayes,
touchdown!
I was about to say Hayes trying to dance a little bit there, but Steelo doesn't like fun, so he's just going to nade him directly out of this position. And now Tarek will wait for exits, but I don't think he's going to catch any fish in his net.
Yeah, not in the position he's in. He's trying to run up here and get the...
Oh, that didn't work at all.
Well, rip. He wanted to run up and try to salvage the AK that Yam had. Unbeknownst to him, there were two players that were playing in pit. And there you go. So they're going to buy up a FAMAS. They've got the AWP in the hands of JDM. Not going to be the most healthy buy here. JDM can pick up a smoke. He goes for the head armor, which is kind of an interesting decision to pick up, considering the AKs are a one-shot anyway. He could have used that extra little bit of money to pick up a HE or a flash. But, no kits. And JDM's dead. So, yeah, just CLG on the struggle bus tonight.
Alright, so Renegades have the advantage. Yam did take a lot of damage from that duel. He's down at 10 HP. So maybe they can find a trade on him, but the problem that's more than likely going to surface now is the team has had a tendency to just go super passive once they lose a player early on in the round. And that may end up being the case here again. They still have this little bit of an aggressive push towards Banana with Tarek and Hayes trying to play this, but I don't even think Renegades is even pushing this anymore. They've relocated all their players close at A. Azure just going to make some noise, and he actually could do some serious damage here, taking that duel versus Tarek, finishing him off. Thankfully, Hayes will find the trade. Now they know there's no pressure on Banana, though. They're actually going to try to get aggressive again to catch these guys out, but that doesn't work at all. Ustilo and JKS just shut them down, and now they've got the A-site for free, and Hayes is trying to wrap, but Ustilo going to beat him to the punch. Hayes winning yet another duel, taking down Ustilo, but at 13 HP, now he has to save.
I'm surprised that Ustilo didn't hear the footsteps of Hayes running through spawn, because he actually jump peeked out on the corner with the knife out. Yeah, nice positioning there. Actually, nice recovery after missing that first shot. 5-2 for CLG, and this is the situation that we were talking about, Blue. When they keep the money so low on the CLG side, when they're on the CTs, because the investment for those rifles is so high, they're in that buy, lose, save, rinse, and repeat cycle right now. And they're buying up a couple of pistols here. They're getting that money bonus now. It'll be maxed after this last round here, but Renegade's already on 5 rounds. This should be an easy 6th round for them. And CLG, they just haven't had any answer whatsoever for what Renegades is doing. They've gone passive in mid, they've gone aggressive in mid, and they get punished for it.
Yeah, now they're just on another very light save again. So Renegades, they've got that secure lead. The worst part about this, too, is for Renegades, I remind you again, of course, that we are in Inferno, and Renegades is starting off on the T side. They're getting this big of a lead. What hope does that leave for CLG on their own terrorist side when we switch the half? If we even get to that point, and, CLG maybe picks up to like 5 rounds, so we can have another 10-5 half, then that's still going to be a very, very bad situation for them to try to make a comeback upon. So as they push, there's Yam, a nice dual angle push. Unfortunately, no support is there for Ustilo as Fugly goes for his own peak, so he's able to catch the headshot, but now they've got a player positioned in Boiler. But for Fugly, he's fallen back, and he's going to sit behind the box on the site itself and just wait for Renegades to come to them.
That was a little bit of a sloppy play from Ustilo. He was watching that side, and once Yam got that pick, he actually turned a little bit. And that's when Fugly pounced and actually capitalized on that. So nicely played from Fugly. A little sloppy from Ustilo, but again, they're going to just wrap around on Arch side, and there's nobody that's watching this right now. I mean, nobody. Fugly is hiding behind this smoke by Pillar, and you've got Tarek up here. He's going to spot for this, but there's not really going to be a whole lot that they can do. And with the patience and everything, Tarek's going to walk right into this off shot.
Fugly doing some work, but he'll be chased out there by Azur. Won't be able to escape with any more kills this time around. And the rotation, again, so late, just because of the fact that Renegades just move as a single group, and when they go for the site, it's not even like there's going to be a couple players moving in late. They all move into that site at the same time. Yeah, trying to like that kill on a Cutler, a little sloppy, but he ends up executing it quite well. And as well, we'll see Sponge coming in there for another pickup too. So there's the Renegades with their 6th round onto the board. Fugly, like I said before, Fugly has been the player that in some of these insurmountable situations for CLG, he's still been doing some pretty good damage to the Renegades, but the rest of the team, we're just not seeing a whole lot of that tonight. But now they get another bye, so let's see what JDM can work with the op yet again.
Yeah, and one of the things, you know, a lot of teams, when they get on the T side of Inferno, they will just full rifle up. They won't even put an op in the hands of any of their players. But Yam, he's 9-3 right now. He's been opening up rounds with this AWP, and that's one of the things that's kind of crucial. They need to get the op out of Yam's hands. They need to break the bank. And look at this. They've got 2 players over 10K. 9,700 for Yam. That's 12,900 for Sponge. That's ridiculous money right now.
So CLG taking a little bit of a conjoined setup here on that A bomb site now. Tarek placing himself over here on top of the balcony. Fugly's placed himself, watching actually for a play towards porch side too, along with another one of his teammates there, JDM. They're not taking any risks at all and playing even slightly forward positions like back over towards Rap side or just watching out for a push on the mid choke point. The same story for the 2 that are sitting on the B side. They have not pushed out towards Banana or even trying to hold car at all. They're sitting back and they're playing extremely passive as they don't want to take any risks this time around, which is good because this is kind of what they need to do. Any attempt that they've made so far to play aggressively have ultimately failed. But there's Fugly picking up a first kill. Did get a little bit aggressive there, pushing himself out, but it pays off as finally they find that opening kill that's not traded.
Yeah, and that's the biggest part about it, is that kill was not traded. One more player is left up here at the top side of mid, though. That's JKS. He's going to try to make a little bit of noise and keep them honest as they try to infiltrate this B bomb site. But a neat little crossfire back there. But Hayes actually gets mollied out of his position. Now they're going to barrel on in. And one player has already made it in towards construction, so they lose the player at the top side of mid, but it's Yam to answer back. They're not ready for Hayes to be over here by second oranges, and he's going to be able to find one before he gets executed. Now it's Azur. He's trying to go 1v4 right now. He's at least made it a 1v3. He's going to try to get the bomb plant. So we got 4 seconds, and they know exactly where he is. This is going to be really tough. It's the first one. Trying to bait out that op shot from JDM. This is a really tough spot. Flashbang, this is good.
They're holding back too. They're waiting for Azur to peek, but Azur knows that they're probably going to peek one by one. He's trying to bait this out right now. Tarek, if he moves in on his own and Azur's to peek out from this, then Azur could very well win this. We need to try and peek together. Thankfully, Tarek's able to manage that duel on his own, so he wins the 1 versus 1 there, and CLG will be able to combo together a 3rd round finally.
Nice effort. They get the bomb plant. That's extra money in the bank. Again, Azur at 13,300, 12,000 for Yam, 15,000 for Sponge. So they're sitting pretty moving forward into the final third of this half, but finally CLG at least able to get one onto the board here. But if Azur would have clutched that out, that would have just been a slap in the face for everything that has happened tonight so far for CLG.
Yeah. And now the big question is the consistency of these round victories here. If they're able to actually keep things going, because if not, then this 1 round win might actually end up being a worse thing for them, considering that their economy will be reset, and that could be potentially 2 free rounds that Renegades would get up onto the board if they have to go back down to double save territory. And Renegades, they're just going to kick up the pace this time. Look, everybody's already moving into that B bomb site. Hayes might be caught with a grenade out, and he is. Cutler finds a trade for it, able to take down Sponge, but now he's going to fall back. Combos that into a 2nd kill at least, but still leaves himself out in the open for a little bit too long. Try to hold the Alamo there, but it doesn't pay off very well. Steela's going to take him down. It'll be a 3 versus 3 on the retake. CLG have spotted this a little bit earlier, though, so they are going to be given enough time to rotate it and actually attempt to retake.
Yeah, and again, Renegades changing things up. They did this so well, this dynamic play. Yam through the smoke. There's going to be a vac spam for that one. Nicely done. Takes Tarek down, and that prompts immediately into a save.
Yep.
And this is what I was telling you. Their CT side on Dust too. They changed the pace. They went aggressive. So many different rounds and so many different avenues. This time they just walk push all the way up to the top side of Banana. No smoke is down, so they just walk right in. And when Hayes gets ready to throw one out, he peeks right into a rifle. So really well played from Renegades.
JKS knows how weak their economy is, so he's actually moving over towards the A-bomb site to look for a couple kills. I think they're in a pretty safe position. They're just going to hold long haul together. So now round expires there, just before we had a little bit of a battle. So they keep the 2 rifles in play. That's it, though. That's all they're going to have heading into this next round, is the AWP and the M4. Cutler could force up if he wanted to, and actually, yeah, they're going to go for the force. So it's all in yet again now from CLG.
Yeah, and this is where it really gets down to do or die. This is I mean, 7 rounds already for Renegades. That's a huge amount on Terrorist side. But if Renegades win this round, this matchup is pretty much done. There's not really going to be a whole lot that they can do because they're going to be in double safe territory on this one. And Tarek already going down to Ustilo and JKS combined to take him off the map, and now they're going to be reeling over here in this A-bomb site. But they're filtering back at least one player down to the bottom side of mid, but they're bringing back Azur from B to work back towards this A-bomb site, and they've got full bracket controls. They've only got Cutler to deal with over here on Arch side.
Fugly's going to try to get aggressive again now, pushing over towards Porch. We'll go up against Sponge potentially in a second. There's actually 3 players around that corner. The smoke fades, but they're all looking at different spots. So Fugly, 1, 2, does get dropped by Sponge, but Hayes is sitting behind him, so he's able to pop back out and find a trade. And now it's all down onto Azur as Hayes finds a second kill for himself, dropping down his dealer. They've got bomb control in middle. They actually put a smoke, I think, on top of the bomb. So if Azur wants to, he can just push right forward and pick this up, but they're not going to take a chance on this one at all. Hayes sitting back here, still on the Porch side. Azur's jumping in, but they can hear that from a mile away. So him and Cutler are just going to try to hold this back. Azur took 2 attempts to jump in there and pick up the bomb. He's got it, but now the question ultimately for him becomes, all right, now where do I go?
Well, Hayes is actually pushing up into bedroom. I like this positional switch from him, and he's going to be able to watch in case that player, Azur, works his way back around towards the apartment side, but he's actually going the right avenue in this 1v3. He's going to be able to walk right into this A-bomb site and at least get a plant down if he plants it safe. Now, Hayes is working his way back around for the backstab, but at this spot, he should be able to get the plant. Hayes is going to peek out. Can't see him from where he's at, and there's the peek out. So he at least gets the money in the bank from the plant, even though they're doing relatively well economically wise on the Renegade side. But a little bit extra never hurt.
Yeah, and I mean, the best thing about this now is they're actually like bouncing back and they're keeping the rounds close. This isn't just becoming an absolute shutdown from the side of Renegades this time. However, they still have like a super big bank to work through on the side of the Renegades. They're buying now, and even with the post-buy amounts that these players are going to be working with, we're still probably going to look, if we see CLG pick up this round, at least one more full buy heading into round number 13. So Renegades, they built themselves they built themselves up a strong bank, which in all honesty may not even get broken for the rest of this half now.
Yeah, and that's the crucial part about it, is you never want to be facing off against a terrorist side that has got like this endless bank account working for them. And that's pretty much the situation that Renegades is in right now. So they're just going to continue to keep the pressure on CLG throughout the remainder of this half. And, you know, every rebuy that they force on CLG's side just keeps that money so low. You can see they've got 3 players that are sub $1,000 on the CLG side, and now they're just going to go up to the top side of mid, and they're just going to go straight for Arch side. And this is the right guess. There's nobody over there. They're gambling on truck side.
Ugly and aggressive on his Porch position.
He's been great on Porch side.
That's like the 3rd time he's pushed that and has gotten at least kill. Most of the times he's been a little bit more successful with it, but Tarek will take his place and actually takes down Azur, who, it's pretty ballsy there, but Sponge in the meantime had worked his way all the way inside of the library. I don't think anybody from the side of CLG had even noticed this, but he too is only going to be able to find 1 frag. As he overexposes himself pushing outside of the library, and JDM will be able to take him down from his pit position. Now this is down to a 3 versus 2, but there's the shots from JDM, finally connecting, takes down Ustilo. JKS aligned for this 1 versus 3, managing to eliminate Tarek. He wants to be careful coming out here towards middle, but he finds the headshot on the Hayes too. Down with 5 HP, but there's also an open B bomb site, so he's just going to rush over here to try to get the bomb down.
He could do this. JKS is going to have so much room to work with. JDM is going to be so slow on this rotation because he doesn't know if this player is going to be faking back up towards the A bomb site or not. So he's going to have so much time to get into a prominent post-plant position over here at B as he gets that plant down. And look at this. He's just going to go straight into construction. He knows that JDM has got the up, so JDM is going to be in a tough spot here. He's going to have to go for this, and JDM is going to have, I mean, hit an absolutely great shot working his way in towards construction side. Look at this JKS. He does. He had the pistol out, but JKS is playing this smart.
That bomb being planted out in the open too. JDM checking every angle, wasting so much time. The smoke is going to get tossed over the bomb. It's actually outside of it a little bit, but I think JKS still has a good position. So JKS peeking out, looking for him, and he grabs the spray down. So big clutch from JKS, wins the 1-on-3. Now Renegades up to 8 rounds, and CLG, well, their economy will be in shambles.
Again, yeah. And that's the biggest part about it. They're going to get one more goodbye out of this half. That's just a beautiful round from JKS. Beautifully played 1v3. That shot that he hit down mid on that spray on Cutler was nuts. And that just prompts him to easily pick up the bomb, work into that B bomb site, get that bomb plant, and then he had so much time to work with to get in that position that if JDM would have come around the corner, he would have had to hit this shot through the smallest of gaps in order to take him down, or gamble that he's playing in the backside of the site. He had no idea where he was going to be. So really well played from JKS.
All right, so CLG back down to basically square, not even square one, square 0 here with their economy. Terex, he's even gone for the Zeus spy too. So at this point, things are just getting a little bit ridiculous now, as they won't actually bring anything else beyond the PT50 upgrades for this team this time. Renegades still taking it slow, just in case. They've been met with reasons to be cautious before, as these ecos have been a lot better than they were back on Dust 2. Fugly specifically has actually been getting a couple good trades for himself, playing on the position by the porch. This time he's going to place himself inside a boiler, but he'll be smoked out as Sponge is going for that very cautious approach through the mid choke point. Won't be spotting anything initially, but he's got to be careful of his teammates going inside of the apartments, because there is a big trap waiting there. 3 members from CLG.
Fugly is going to push, well, it looked like he was going to push the smoke, but he misses the timing just a little bit. Sponge gets into CT spawn. This round is pretty much on its head already. There's not going to be a whole lot that Hayes can do over here. They might have spotted him out. They're going to try to flank out fast down through Banana. They might catch out JKS jumping up on top of the truck here. But there it is. There's the prompt. There's the push. They have no idea that these players are behind, but they're already clearing things out. And there comes the flank. Only 1 kill on the board for Fugly.
And even the players, yeah, even the players that are trying to sneak in back through Banana now. JKS taking it down all on his own. Free op now being picked up over here. Sponge will be using this one. And for JDM, he's got a smoke to work with. Can try to push in for it, but you can see just on the other side of it, JKS is waiting for that exact play to happen. So he will probably be a dead man if he attempts this. He's just waiting for exits from this direction, but I think they already realize he's here, so there's really no reason for anybody to exit in this direction. Unless they just want to go hunting for the frag, which, in all honesty, with the economy they have, there might not be a reason not to do this, and there we go. He gets aggressive, goes for the peak. He finds 1 kill, but that's it.
Yeah, 9 rounds on the T side. Renegades just laying it out here right now. This is one of the reasons why they wanted to move to North America and play in the Pro League, get a shot at making that land and getting that money. And they're showing right now tonight that they're here to play. And in CLG, they just have absolutely no response for what's happening right now. I mean, they only got 5 rounds on Dust 2. And that came on their CT side. They didn't even get a single round. Or pardon me, it came on their T side. They didn't even get a single round on CT side.
Another peek there from Estilo. This happened a little bit towards the end of the last map too now. Estilo, they get a little bit aggressive this time. In CLG, they position themselves to find these kills, so they're going to open things up 2 for none. And they'll have a big advantage in a 5-on-3. The final 3 really haven't made all that much progress either. A couple of them still stuck here in alt middle, now transitioning it over towards the mid choke point. And then you've got Yam just trying to hold the crossroads.
Yeah, and again, JDM going to be playing back over here by Moto's side. He got aggressive in mid, played that alternate mid peak, ended up punishing for that. And this time around, they're going to be working for bracket control again here on the Renegades side. You can see the bomb is up the top side of mid. 1 player over here at the B-bomb site as well, just looking for anything over in Banana. That's going to be Yam trying to spot something out. Hayes and Cutler still over here in control of this situation, but just trying to throw a little bit of a fake to pull a rotation off. But JDM fully flashed, nicely done. He's going to get 1. JKS is going to be able to trade that out. It's a 2v4, still manageable for Renegades, but still a long way to go in order to get the 10th round on the board right here.
Yep, and the members of CLG over here on the A-bomb side are actually set up just waiting for them to go for the plant. They're very, very held back right now. Hayes will rotate in. Terex is waiting for the push to come over here through truck side. And Fugly waiting in the pit just in case there's a rat play. But they should have just confirmed that that is not happening because of the player that peeked over there towards Library. Here we go again with Fugly. 1 kill for him. It's all on Yam. He's going to try to push in, missing his first shot though, and that's about it. Terex shuts him down, and CLG will find a 5th round.
Yeah, they grabbed the off for JDM too. He had a couple of nice impact frags into that last round, able to get them their 5th round on the board. So coming into this final one, Yam doesn't have the op, so I expect him to go for a little bit more of an up-tempo strategy. They might go for that same B-type strategy that they had in the last time that it worked. See if they throw that smoke to the top side of B. It does look like they are going to. Or actually, yeah, they are going to throw it to the bottom side of Banana. So that's going to at least quell the aggression coming towards that area, but they're just grouped up here in alternate mid, already looking for that aggression from JDM. He was there last time, so they pre-fired this time.
Malu's going to split them up a little bit here. Hayes, he'll just push forward. No problem for him. The Renegades are actually holding back a little bit here with this banana push because they've only got Yam to hold it. And now they just press themselves in, already past Archway here and taking some more duels. Azur is going to get dropped very, very low to 2 HP, and Tarek's going to take him down. Azur has been very ballsy this half, but taking some of these duels when he absolutely should not be doing so. Re-peeking there with 2 HP, not going to be the smart decision, and now it's all on Sponge to push into this site on his lonesome. Fugly doing some work there, sitting behind the pole, picks up JKS and Yam inside of the pit, and now moving over, looking for his 3rd kill, but finally he's shut down by Sponge. That takes down Fugly. Now he's in the 1 versus 2. Very little intel as of the final 2 players' positions, but he's going to try to take as big of an advantage as he can. Now wrapping back out, checking over here towards the mid-choke. The pressure's wrapping in from Hayes now as he pushes through the long halls, getting himself out towards the balcony. And Sponge actually might wrap the wrapper as he places himself out here to the window now. Really trying to investigate every possible opportunity.
I'm just thinking, what if he just split the defenses and walked all the way over towards B? I mean, they've got to be starting to think about this. Oh, Hayes is going to get spotted, so now they at least know. I'm not sure if he spotted Tarek over there either. Might have seen him when he came out.
He's got the rifle now, though, so he's ready to take this duel. He's going to throw the molly, so he knows he's pushing in now. Tarek's just going to roll right into this, but he can't push that left angle because of the molly that's placed on the floor. Sponge can now use this as an opportunity to just fall back and take a nice angle duel, but Tarek doesn't necessarily realize this, so he's going to move in, tapping the bomb a little bit there. I'm waiting for Sponge to go for the peek. He gets aggressive, but Sponge is going to win it, and that's another clutch from the side of Renegades.
3v1 again.
Again will be the scoreline heading into the second half.
What a great play from Sponge, too. Just the poise, the patience on that guy. Beautifully done. Great execution on that 3v1, and Sponge just comes out on top of it. 10-5 for Renegades. And I mean, just absolutely no wind in the sails for CLG. I haven't seen anything all that impressive from them. And I'm, like we said before, I'm pretty sure they won both of the knife rounds, so they got the pick of the litter on sides tonight.
Yeah.
And nothing going right for them. Absolutely nothing going right for them. Just getting beat up in the economical game. And you see how much of an impact that can have on a map like Inferno. Keep that money low on the CT side, especially with as many force buys as they had. And they were never really in it.
All right, well, it's their last chance now to try and surmount to come back against the members of Renegades. Jumping into that second half, CLG's on the T side, and Renegades immediately taking a duel with them over here through middle. Not going to see anyone connect any shots just as of yet, but Renegades also bringing a lot of utility to the CT side, and they might end up needing it too if this play just surmounts itself over here towards the A-bomb site. Yam very low at 13 HP. They'll have to be cautious now if these players just start to push back out, and they will. So he'll fall back, put himself in a much safer position behind Arthas, getting the intel at the same time, and that's a touchdown grenade that just rolls in there. Fugly, Tarek, Hayes, all hit so heavily by this one. And now Yam, along with JKS, they just walked into the grinder. There's Tarek, though, pushing him with a trip shot, picks up at least 1 kill onto Yam, and looking for another one, won't be able to find it. Sponge takes him down. The guys from CLG, they're trying to go for the take on the B-bomb site instead as they wrap themselves around. They're going to get enough pressure to maybe push Azur off, runs out of ammo, thankfully for the members of CLG, so Cutler will be able to take him down, but now the rotations have followed themselves back in, and JDM's stuck over here in the guard. He's got nowhere to run. Hasn't even gotten that bomb down as of yet. Finds one headshot on towards JKS, looking for the second kill. Gets a 1 versus 1 peek, takes down Sponge, but Ustilo will end it. And Renegades, after a trading battle back and forth yet again, Renegades will take control still of the second half.
What an absolutely chaotic round that was. I mean, that was nonsensical. They got the goosh on the player in mid, so they sped things up towards the top side of mid to take bracket control. But that nade that came over from the Moto side, thrown, I believe, by Sponge, just destroyed 3 or 4 players. And now look at this aggression coming out. They're gonna go for the bankroll. They're just already mid control. 4 players all the way down here, but just outside of terrorist spawn. They haven't even gotten out of spawn. The pressure came so fast, and they just get completely shut down.
They are now, like, trying to morally destroy CLG. They're just pushing it like, yeah, like,
going for the throat,
we got you guys in the corner now. It's all over. We're just gonna rub it in.
Yeah, no, they're going for the jugular at this point. I mean, that aggression down mid, they went for the SMGs. They didn't invest anything into the rifles. You saw what happened to CLG in that second round buy in the first half when they went on the rifles. They ended up losing that, and that spiraled out of control for them later on in the half. So this time, let's see if they go for the aggression down mid again, and it looks like, no, they're actually going to push 2 into apartments and go aggressive towards the alt mid. Oh, here you go, MP9 action. Sponge with 1, Sponge with 2. One more over here in mid, but he's privy to JDM, and he's going to peek him. He's going to miss the initial fight, but pulls out the P250 and seals the deal. 13-5. Renegades just slaughtering CLG tonight.
It's a rough night, man. Not like all of these NA teams sometimes.
It must
like,
be you.
I don't know, man.
Every time you cast, it's like blowout.
Usually it's Moses that's crapping on NA a lot, but I'm starting to understand why.
Because NA craps on itself.
All right. That's an interesting picture there. Okay, so now we get to the first gun round, but Renegades honestly with no reason to worry. JKS has even just chosen to stick with his UMP because they've got such a huge lead, they can afford to do this, just try to get a good bank going early on. This was, just to a certain degree, a smaller problem for these guys. Was just trying to stack up that CT economy. So now they'll take this path to try and start it off early. And Yam picking up a great shot on the Terra to start off this round, but Cutler moving in through that mid-choke, trades it back out. A pop flash from Estilo, almost able to grab him a kill, but CLG's member is able to get the cover quickly enough.
Yeah, and Tarek, he took a big risk on pushing that Molotov because he's down to, or pardon me, Cutler pushing that Molotov. He's down to 3 HP. He did get that trade, but it came at a very heavy cost. And they've already rotated another player over here towards A, so the defense at that area has been fortified. They've only got one player to deal with over here at B, and it's actually JKS with the ump. So see if he decides to push up behind this on Banana, and if he does, he should be able to find a mortally wounded Cutler.
They're going to move away from this, only keeping JDM out in the open there past that mid-choke point, and he'll be pop flashed by Azur, so he finds a nice kill there. Timing on that one, too, is I think it was just starting to consider falling back. Now they're going to push towards this B-bomb site, but Renegades, they're reading this, so they're going to start to wrap in. Sponge gets out in the open, finishing off Cutler, comboing it into Hayes. They just line up for his spray, and that's perfect, because then all they have to worry about is Fugly there, who manages to pick up just one single kill. Renegades 2 rounds away now for picking up the 2-0 score for tonight's matches.
Just to show you how much everything is going wrong for CLG right now, their smoke for CT clipped the roof and landed in pool.
Did it really?
Yeah, that's why Sponge was able to get 2 easy cleanup kills on him pushing in, because the smoke didn't land there and CT to choke off that point. So nothing going right for CLG right now.
Rest and pepperonis, man.
Yeah, man. NA nades.
So
just haunting.
All right. So we're coming to some of the final rounds now, and we can see for CLG, they'll go for another force up here. Just going to go for a quick play to the A-bomb site. Sponge leaving himself a little overexposed with spray. Not going to be as clean this time. Picking up 2 kills. JDM and Hayes managing to find both Sponge and Ustilo. Yam trading that back and still holding that angle. And Azur actually finishes off JDM. That looked a little bit weird, but it still manages to connect the shot. And Cutler, he's just going in, man. He's going Rambo. Finds one. Gets the second onto Azur. Now it's down to a 1 versus 1. He's got to manage to take down JKS. Still, JKS has moved in. He's using all of his grenades, but Cutler has a smoke to respond to this. But Cutler, he didn't catch the repositioning there from JKS, so he's able to out-angle him, get him onto the site. And now Renegades, they'll sit at their 15th round.
And that was the play that Cutler had to make. He didn't know whether or not JKS was actually going to be sticking that bomb or not. So he bails in. JKS bails out Renegades in 15-5. Could we see back-to-back 16-5s? It's going to be full AKs here for the CLG side, but Renegades, they are showing absolutely no signs of stopping. And we saw how evenly pretty much the entire squad fragged together on the Renegade side on Dust 2. This time around, 21 kills, 17 kills, 18 kills, 15 kills. The low man is Ustilo, who was the top man on Dust 2, so his work has already been done. Now he can sit back and let the teammates pick up the slack. Yeah, missing a shot there in mid, though, so they're going to push on up, but it's Sponge to return, and it's already a man advantage here for the Renegade side. The Australians doing work tonight.
That last round, you know, with all things considered, that was actually a pretty good attempt from Cutler. Like, he just decided, like, all right,
oh,
I'm
no,
last
that was
one alive.
great.
Like, let me just go in on this, and it actually worked out pretty well, too, because the Renegades did not expect that at all, so moves in there, picks up the 2 kills, just is outclassed a little bit there by JKS. JKS, to his credit too, he plays that very smart, just realizes that he's rushing through, just not really checking every angle, so just throws down the molly, goes to the reposition, and then catches him when he tries to push through the other smoke.
Yeah, well, he actually just abused Cutler's own smoke in that situation. So, smart play from JKS, but again, CLG, I mean, they're at a man disadvantage right now. They do have top mid control. They're going to be able to find Azur, but they got to account for Yam over here in Arches, who's going to be able to pick off one more before he goes down. And now they're just going to push through the smoke, and nice positioning from Sponge. He's been playing so smart all night. Tarek is going to get the refrag, so it's down to a 2v2, and Ustilo is stuck in pit. And I think they have to know that he's here at this point. He's going to throw the flashbang out, and he's going to take the peek. He actually blinds himself. He can't adjust in time, and it's JKS in a 1 versus 2. Fugly is at least going to get the spot from him, but both players down here in pit, and he's going to molly the site off, so that's going to prevent them from pushing up and getting that plant on default, at least.
It will be able to go down, though, as I think JKS Did not expect them to push out a pit so quickly, but he's going to go for a quick rotation. He'll be smoked off. Ooh, this is rough now, but there's a little tiny hole in that smoke. And if Fugly decides to cross back over towards the truck, he can catch him. However, I don't think he's going to do that. You can see him sort of jump peeking it there in the back of the pit. So he thinks he's pretty safe in that spot. And he's been playing some pretty safe angles for the majority of this set too. So JKS in a very rough situation. He's basically just going to have to go right for it if he actually wants to attempt this. Catching the position of Tarek, bringing him down to 42 HP, but still not really making any progress on getting a good position. So I think he's falling away from this, and he's just going to surmount to a save. Hey, and look, he finds an op too.
Yeah, good find at the end of the round. I mean, a lot of damage being done by Renegades in this one, so at least CLG get a 6th round on the board and live to fight another day. But again, I mean, 10 match points in this matchup as well. 9 to go for them to just take it to OT. And that is just a very tall order on the terrorist side of Inferno. So saving the op, that's good. Goes back into the hands of Yam. He buys up a small armor to go along with it, and they invest into pistols, and they put head armor on JKS along with a kit because he had a lot of money to work it with in that last round. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He saved the head armor and the kit from the last round, so he invests into a couple of flashes to work with. So see how they go with this one.
But yeah, I'm still doing work with that op. Gets aggressive back over towards Banana and picks up a first kill. He does have to roll through a molly on the way back though, but then we see another kill coming in from Hazard to shut down Fugly. JDM starts the trades in the favor of CLG, but ooh, Hazard almost not able to escape that. He throws the smoke down, tries to retake that duel with Tarek, but it's not going to pay off very well this time. Now JKS is starting to wrap back in, connects the headshot on the Tarek, and in the meantime, Mustilo manages to take down Hazed. Hazed, good placement on the molly though, actually finds Yam and actually will finish him off after some very good early damage was done just a few moments before, but now it's down to a 1 versus 2. JDM has to be very cautious about this plant because he doesn't actually know where the final 2 are just as of yet, and they're sitting back. Look, they're going to wait for him to get aggressive. If he plays into this, this is going to be so pitiful. That pop flash comes out, you took that bait, hook, line, and sinker, JDM. Mustilo shuts it down, and that's going to be the end of the match.
16-5, then 16-6. Renegades came to play tonight, and CLG, they just never showed up. And it was actually kind of funny in that last round. I don't know if you noticed, but when Yam got burned to death by that Molotov that Hazed threw, he had jumped, and when he died, his op fell right into the hands of Ustilo, and then he closes out the match with the op. So kind of a funny circumstance to close that one out, but just a big night for Renegades and a little lackluster for CLG. But the next matchup that we have for you guys is going to be Enemy versus Complexity. The first match is on Train, and then they have the doubleheader, and they're going to be on Cash for the second one. So we're going to be back in a couple of minutes for that one, guys. Don't go anywhere. We got some more CS coming your way.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.